If you're a leader trying to figure out this whole artificial intelligence thing, you know the hype can be, well, a lot. Today, we're going to cut through all that noise with a really disciplined, new way to think about AI. All right, let's get right into it. This right here. This is probably the single most important idea we're going to talk about. Think about that for a second. It's not about the algorithms, it's not about the models. The real challenge, the thing that's actually stalling progress and, let's be honest, wasting millions of dollars, is something totally different. So, what is this adoption problem they're talking about? Well, think of it like this. It's the giant gap between having all this amazing technology available and actually making it work for your organization. It's a super common frustration, but just understanding that this is the real problem is the first step to actually solving it. I mean, look around. There are a million AI tools out there, and new ones pop up every single day. But here's the thing. Having a shiny new tool isn't the same as having a real solution, not even close. The real struggle is figuring out how to weave that technology into the very fabric of your business so it actually creates tangible, meaningful results. And you know, this struggle often leads companies down the same wrong paths. It's like there are these predictable pitfalls that so many organizations fall into, even when they have the best intentions. So let's look at 4 of the most common traps. As we go, just see if any of these sound a little familiar. Okay, so first up, grabbing a really powerful tool for a problem it was never actually built to solve. Then you've got the classic mistake, celebrating a successful pilot project that, well, it never actually scales up to the rest of the business. The third trap is getting obsessed with the tech itself, without getting your people and your processes ready for it. And finally, there's just chasing efficiency. Using AI to make old processes a tiny bit faster instead of asking, hey, could this help us work in a completely new and better way? But here's the kicker. All of these, they're just symptoms. The real problem goes way deeper. All right, so it's easy enough to point out what's going wrong, right? The real question is, how do we fix it? How do we get off this hamster wheel of chasing hype and start building an AI strategy that actually works? Well, that's where this framework comes in. It's called ICEBERG, and the whole idea is to give you a really clear, practical roadmap for turning all that promise of AI into actual reality. It's all about bringing some much-needed structure and discipline to the whole process. And the name, ICEBERG, is perfect because it's structured exactly like one. You got the part you can see above the water, the tip of the iceberg. That's build, enable, reinvent, and govern. That's the stuff you do. But then there's the huge, massive part hidden underneath the surface: infrastructure, culture, and ethics. And that's the foundation that makes everything else possible. So let's start with the top, right? The visible part of the iceberg. These are the 4 action-oriented pillars that everyone's going to see. This is the operational side of your AI strategy. First, you build the right solutions for the right problems. See how that directly avoids that first trap we talked about? Then you enable your people, driving adoption and getting them the skills they need. Because what good is a tool if nobody knows how to use it, right? After that comes Reinvent. This one's huge. It's not just about doing old things faster, it's about totally rethinking how work gets done. And finally, you govern the whole process with clear rules and oversight to build trust. All 4 of these have to work together. But here's the deal. You can do all of that, and it will still fall apart if you don't have the foundation right. So now we've got to go below the waterline. We're talking about the other 90% of the iceberg, the stuff that makes or breaks your success in the long run. And this, right here, is the core of the whole framework. You absolutely need the right tech infrastructure. This is what lets you scale up beyond those small pilot projects. You need a culture that actually embraces change and is driven by data. And you need a bedrock of ethics that guides every single decision, so you know you're building responsible, trustworthy AI. Without these 3 foundational pieces, the whole top part of the iceberg just melts away. So, you see, when you put it all together, the action pillars on top and that solid foundation underneath, that's when you finally have a complete strategy. This is how you move past the buzzwords and start driving real, genuine change across your entire company. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. The point of all this isn't to just check a box and say, yep, we use AI. The point is to fundamentally transform how your organization operates, how it creates value, how it serves its customers. AI is the tool, but transformation, that's the goal. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. When you look at your own organization's approach to AI, are you only focused on the visible stuff, Or are you also building that deep, solid foundation of infrastructure, culture, and ethics that you need for real, lasting transformation? In other words, is your strategy a complete iceberg, or are you just looking at the tip?